So we're back at it on the hay barn, on the addition this week. Our goal is to finish this siding on this side and put some trim along the roof line as far as this side and front as well as the other side. Then it'll be ready for putting down the tar paper and the drip edge. We're kind of hoping that's where we finish up for the week. If we get lucky, maybe we'll be able to start after that the winter chicken coop for the chickens on the inside, because we want to get them moved up here while we can. You can probably see that all of our snow is gone. We had one day where it warmed up to about 50 degrees here, which was really nice, but it also rained a lot. So all the snow's gone. Now we've dropped back down in the temperatures again, so it's a little chilly, but we're going to kind of get started. Like I was saying, our goal really, or the push with this, is to get the chickens out of their summer chicken coop that gets moved along on the pastures all summer, to get them into a spot where they can be all winter, where they'll have a little more protection from the cold weather. So our deal is to get the two sides finished, get the trim on all the roof line, so we can get, like we said, the tar paper and drip edge up. And then we're really going to focus at that point on building the chicken coop on the inside, so they at least have their space to go. And then we'll finish the front here with the siding, as well as building the doors with the slider on it for them as well. So let's just get going. It's tough getting old when you need glasses to see everything that you're cutting and doing, but not for walking, so you got to put them on and off constantly. So our next step is to get this drip edge on. I'm going to kind of tack it in place, and then I'll tack the one on here for the front face. And then I'll put the tar paper down, and then I'll put the drip edge on the sides as well. Then at least it should be watertight enough that we can build the chicken coop inside for the chickens at night to go into, and they'll be out of the weather and elements. And then once they're in there and they're able to go in and out each day, we'll be able to attack and finish up the front and put the roofing on, finish the roof up here as well. Kind of went a little quicker today than I thought, which is really good. I'm only going to put a couple nails in, one here and one at the end, because when I put the tar paper down over it, I'll be nailing that down over this as well, and that'll help hold it in place. So what we're going to be working on today is starting to frame in and build out the indoor chicken coop, or the winter chicken coop for the chickens. We're basically going to decide to take this corner of the building and turn it into that for them. So we got to frame it out. We're going to mill up some of our rough 2x8 lumber into 2x4s to do it. And eventually we'll be putting in, probably next year, an outdoor door here so that we can make an outdoor run for them. But this year, they're basically going to just have this whole indoor space because we're not going to be putting hay in it. The hay will come in next year. Hey Smokes, this is Smokey, one of our two cats. The other one is Bandit. He's a curious one. So they'll basically have this whole indoor space here for when it's snowing and stuff, and then they'll be able to go outside through the barn doors that we put on as well. We can slide them open. But for now, we kind of have to get this started, and we're kind of just making up the design as we go. Yeah, we're gonna need a shovel. So, but I gotta figure out where to put the post here.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna have to put a post in here because we don't have a long enough thing for it.
Those boards are long enough.
Which ones?
Well, you should be ready to close it.
The plywood?
It doesn't even matter, the metal wouldn't do that long.
Right.
Yeah, the plywood.
Yeah, no, the plywood is, have to go measure it 7 feet, I think. Go measure it and see. And then the question is, I'm thinking one layer of plywood, kind of like that board, and then a layer of plywood, right? And then net above it. What do you think?
I'm sorry.
7 feet would go to here. I mean, I could do one sheet of
Well, we
plywood.
can use to have wood that we don't need.
What do you mean?
We do regular wood, and then it's stronger, and if we ever had a different animal in it, then it would be.
Plywood's strong.
Okay.
Especially if I'm putting a board in here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't have to put a board in, but we don't have to dig this one. I can attach it and level it. It doesn't.
Yes, we don't want to. Partially this, we don't want things digging in.
Seven footer.
I don't wanna make it too easy, I mean,
Right.
at least gives them time to like get up on the roof or something.
Fine. when you say it's fine. Yes. Thank you. A little smaller screw. Yeah, I gotta go get smaller screws. It's sticking through. I swear half the time you spend on a project is going to get the stuff you need. Get it to work right. People might be wondering why we're using plywood. These were leftover from when our daughter got married here on the land. We made tabletops that she could cover with linen or whatever, tablecloth. So we had a bunch of the plywood when the wedding was over. From making the tabletops, we took them back apart. Hence we have a bunch of plywood. And at first I was thinking of using it up on the roofing as the decking, but I figured it was the same amount of money to buy all the rough lumber for the decking as the additional plywood. So I figured I'd just buy the rough lumber for that and keep the plywood for other jobs. So, and Kim wanted this to look nice, not the nice old shakes in the back, so we're gonna have to figure out how to cover the rest of this so it looks decent as well. What do you think so far? I got a thumbs up. So our goal again is to keep working on this chicken coop for them for the winter. Probably tonight we're gonna end up moving the chickens up here and parking their summer coop, which is mobile for the around the fields, just outside of this addition we're building, and then put some putt fence around so that they can come in here during the day tomorrow. And then once this coop is done, either tomorrow or the next day, basically what we'll do is try to transfer them at nighttime. I can't get in to get them out of their roosts, out of their summer coop, but if I shut it off, I'm hoping that they'll find places in here to roost, and then I can come take them and put them in here so that they start getting used to coming in and out of this coop for their evening roosts. So we'll show you how that process works and whether it does well or not, but first things is getting this finished. Another cold morning this morning. Wasn't as bad as previous weeks, but it was down in the teens. And right now it's probably around 20 degrees. So it's warmed up a little bit, but not dramatically. Basically trying to make right here a little door for them, and then I'm hoping, I want to measure this again. So I'm hoping this will be the door. I'll level this, and then I'll build a wall up here as well so that it's about a half wall again, and then I'll put the nesting box inside of there as well so that they can have a nice little spot to lay us some eggs. Do think one of the harder parts is the on and off of gloves in the cold. These were some old tongue and groove boards that we had pulled out of the house during part of the renovation, and we saved, hoping that someday I guess we would find a use for them. And right now, this will be a good use for them to help close in part of this chicken coop. So we got the winter coop finished. We got their doors on and the chicken wire. We put some roosts in for them as well so they can get up nice and high if they'd like to. Got a nesting box in. I don't know if you can see or if it's hard to see in the dark in here. It's not a huge space, but it's gonna be more than enough for them in the winter because they'll be outside most of the time. They'll have basically the space behind me this whole winter out of the snow. And then next year we'll be putting hay in here. We did move the chickens up and got them out of their summer mobile coop this morning before sunrise, before their automatic door opened on that. So part of the job tonight is going to be coming in, finding them at where they're roosting and getting them into their that winter coop so they can start getting used to going in and out of that and closing in that door. And thank you for joining us on the homestead this week. And if you want to follow us on our journey, just hit the subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.